Hey guys, and happy Wednesday, especially happy Wednesday because it's kind of like a fake Thursday since we don't have class on Friday. Hope you're all doing well. It was great to see you guys yesterday at our 11 o'clock Google Meet. Today you're going to need your charged Chromebook and any supplies to keep working on your Geometry City project. As a reminder, that's due via email to me tomorrow, Friday by 3:30 p.m. Today our learning goal is short and sweet. We are going to find the area of irregular closed shapes. Yesterday we talked about how to find the area of rectangles, and we determined that there was a formula, length times width, that would help us determine how many square units would fit inside of a rectangle. Remember, area is the space inside, so we're literally measuring how many squares fit inside. We decide the units based on what they give us. So if they give us a rectangle that's measured in yards, our answer is going to be yards squared or squared yards. If they give us a rectangle measured in inches, then our solution is going to be inches squared or square inches. So today we're going to take that a step further and look at finding the area, still using length times width, but what happens when it's not a perfect rectangle. I'm actually going to show you an example first, and I would encourage you to have a piece of paper or a whiteboard nearby because I find that, especially because we're not in class and we don't have a worksheet to put in our binder, it's really helpful to draw the example on paper or a whiteboard. So I'm just going to roll up my sleeves here. We're getting serious. Do a quick sketch of this irregular shape. And we call it irregular because it's actually a few shapes combined. So I'm going to do just a easy sketch, nothing crazy. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm even going to include the labels. So you'll notice that they're inches. So we know that our final area is going to be inches squared. So there you can see, I just have a quick sketch of our shape. And I'm going to fill in the missing sides too. So I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. But I only see 4 numbers. So I'm missing a label here, this little part, and I'm missing a label here as well. So I'm going to have to do a little problem solving. If this is 10 inches and this is 6 inches, if I slid the 6 inches up so it was parallel to the 10, it would be 6 plus what gives me 10? 4. So I know that little part underneath is 4 inches, so I labeled it. And then this side, this long side is missing. So I'm going to try to see what I notice, what's parallel. So this whole long side is 20. This little long side is 8. So 8 plus what is going to give me 20? 12. 12 plus 8 is going to give me 20. All right. You'll know you're ready to find the area when you have a length for every side. So if I have 6 sides, I should have 6 numbers written down. Now to find the area, the whole inside of this shape, I'm going to do what we call decompose the shape, or I'm going to split it into 2 or more shapes. I like to split things into squares or rectangles. That is the easiest for me. So I'm actually going to get a different colored marker. I've been using purple here. I'm going to use a bunch of other colors. So I'm going to grab an orange and I'm going to decompose this shape. There are a lot of different ways to do this, so I'm just going to show you one way. I'm going to make it into 2 shapes. See my orange dotted line? I took this kind of upside down L or backwards 7 looking shape and I made it into 2 rectangles. So I'm going to call one rectangle A and the other rectangle B. Actually, I'm going to change it from A because A is the same as area. So I'm going to call it rectangle K and rectangle C. That's my mom's name, Casey. So rectangle K and rectangle C. Now I'm going to find the area of rectangle K and rectangle C. So if I look at rectangle K, I can see that one side of rectangle K is 10 inches and the other is 8 inches. Do you see my 10 and 8? That's my length and my width. So I'm going to multiply them together because area equals length times width, and I'm going to get 80 inches squared. So my area of rectangle K is going to be 80 inches squared. I want you to notice how I wrote what K equals. I found the area of K. Now I have to find the area of C. So what's my length of C? Notice that C is cut across right here. So I can't use 20, that's the whole length. Just my length of C is actually 12. So 12 times the width is 6. So can you find the area of C? Go ahead and try that now. Length times width. Okay, what'd you get? 78 inches squared. Very good. Notice how I wrote the area of both of my rectangles inside, and then my final step, since I want the area of that whole shape, is to add the areas together. So I'm going to add 80 square inches plus 78 square inches, and I'm going to get a total of 158 inches squared. So my area for this figure is 158 square inches, or 158 inches squared. There are a lot of steps in there, but as long as you know how to find area and how to find the missing sides like you did for perimeter, you'll be just fine with this. It's actually kind of cool, decomposing the shapes and creating new ones. Let's try another one together, and then I'm going to leave you with some examples to help you for today's practice. Let's take a look at this one. So again, my first step, and if you want to jot down these steps, feel free to. Your first step is going to be to do a loose sketch. Doesn't have to be perfect. Mine is far from. Loose sketch. Oh, that's real rough. And make sure you label the sides because we want to label any missing sides. And oh, I'm noticing at the bottom, one is 3 feet and one is 4 feet. We can't always trust how it looks. We really have to make sure we know the measurements. All right, cool. I notice we have some missing sides. It looks like this side is missing, right? If this is 15, it's the only other thing that's parallel. If this is 15, we can slide this over, and this side's also going to be 15. So I'm just plugging in my lengths and my widths on my shape, so each side. Okay, I noticed that this I'm picturing this almost like a table, so under the table is missing. The whole thing is 26, so 4 plus 3 is 7, right? And then we would need to do 26 plus what equals 7? 19. Okay, so that underneath part is going to be 19. So I'll have 19, 20, 21, 22, plus 24, yep. And then this part is also missing. If this is 5, this is also going to be 5. All right, my entire shape sides are labeled. Once I've done that, I'm ready to decompose. I'm going to get a different color And remember, you're going to split it into at least 2 shapes. You might even split it into more shapes. I'm going to split my shape into 2 small rectangles at the bottom and then 1 big rectangle at the top. Can you see how there's now 3 rectangles here? And now I'm going to have to find the area of each of these rectangles. So let's take a look. I'm going to scoop myself over so you can see the board here. All right, let's start here, the area of this little guy. I need to do the length times the width. So my length is going to be 5. 5 is just that little part. My width is 3. 5 times 3 is 15. So my area here equals 15 feet squared. Let's do the big one at the top. I see the length, it's real clear to me that it's 26. But I'm not really sure what this would be, because the 15 is for the whole length. So what would just this part be? Oh, well, I know this is 5. So if this little part is 5, this bigger part would be 10, because 10 plus 5 makes 15. So then to find the area, I'm going to multiply the length times the width. My length is 26, my width is 10, so my area here is 260 feet squared. And then I have this little guy left. I know the length is 5, the width is 4, so my area here is going to be 20 feet squared. And my final step, so I've drawn it out, I've labeled all the sides and found the missing sides. I decompose the shape, I split it into smaller shapes, then I'm finding the area of each smaller shape. My very last step, guys, is to add it all together. So I'm going to have 260 plus 20 is 280. 280 plus 15 is 295 feet squared. The entire shape's area is 295 square feet. Remember, this is a video. You can pause, you can rewind, and you can play it over again if you want to go over it a little slower. I'm going to leave you with some notes. Feel free to pause and jot these down or replay as needed. Here are some reminders on how to solve. Decompose the polygon into separate quadrilaterals. Find the area of each quadrilateral and then find the sum of the areas. Remember, area is always written as square units. This would be a great thing to jot down in notes or to take a screenshot of and come back to it when you're doing today's practice. Here's another example problem I want to leave you with for notes. Or again, if you prefer to take a screenshot of this, you can pause, then take a picture, either on your Chromebook, if you're using an iPad, if you have a phone, you can take pictures there too. So here is the big shape. You can see how I decomposed. I found the missing sides. Then I found the area of each rectangle and added them together. So there are some good examples to help you with today's practice problems. So for today's practice, it's super short and sweet because I know that you are putting final touches on your project. Today's practice is only 3 problems, so I really do want you to put good thought into them because there's just 3. So if you head over to Google Classroom, it'll look similar to yesterday's assignment. You'll see something in Google Slides. You'll see 3 problems with directions, and then the rest of time for math today should be spent working on your project. Again, your Geometry City project is due to me via pictures through email by 3:30. Please reach out to me today if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow at 11 o'clock for our last Google Meet of the week. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.